In the ring we stand tall, words of blades that never fall, debated warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. In the ring we stand tall, words of blades that never fall, debate like warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. Through the noise we cut clean, spirited, mind sharp and keen. With a spark that lights the night, join us in this epic fight. Welcome to the Spartan Arena, where minds clash and thoughts clean. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena, there's no chance to escape the fight by law. Dive in deep and search for more. From heartfelt talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome to the Spartan Arena, where minds clash and thoughts clean. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena, there's no chance to escape the fight by law. Dive in deep and search for more. In the ring we stand tall, words are blades that never fall. Debate like warriors brave, every thought we give and save. Through the noise we cut clean, spirited minds sharp and keen. With a spark that lights the night, join us in this epic fight. Welcome to the Spartan Arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena there's no chance to escape the vibrant lore. Dive in deep and search for more. From heartfelt talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome to the Spartan Arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Will be heard. Will be heard.
Spartans! What is your profession?
What is going on, everybody? We're back at it with another show, another stream. You know where you're at. You're at Spartan Institute Network. I'm your host, the Spartan, aka Peter. How is everybody tuned tonight? Tonight, we're going to hit a subject that is can be a little sore for some people, maybe not some other people. So I am very interested to see how people feel about this subject. Should women pay for child support? That is the question of the night. And it's something that going to be interesting. So it's something that I think it's going to be debatable, maybe some arguments. Some people are going to agree, some people are going to disagree. So let's get our first person in. We're our fellow witch doctor in the house.
Ooh ee ooh ah ah, ching chang, walla walla bang bang. Ooh ee ooh ah ah, ching chang, walla walla bang bang.
What's going on, Mariana?
Nothing much. Just this topic just brought my attention. There's going to be a lot of, I will say yes and no's. I will say
Hmm.
so.
So this is going to be a very interesting conversation, I think. Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So off the bat, what our UK brother saying yes, this should be. So what is your opinion? You think should women pay for child support?
Yes or no. Depending. If a woman makes more
Hmm.
and decided not to be financially support her kids and decide to drop them off, then she is responsible to pay child support.
Okay.
Uh, but if no, let's say that much and she's the only the provider and taking care of her kids without her, so yeah, it's basically it's divided.
Hmm.
But if let's say this would really the most, let's say if a woman has kids but then decided, oh, I had enough of this, I need some me time, but you decide to put it off at your parents house or to your siblings house, whatever the case is. And I see situations, it's so messy, it's not even funny, that you drop off the kids, you don't wait till the person comes to the door, and you see children crying, they feel so lost and confused, which is so messed up. And then everything's all documented and everything is it's
Hmm.
recorded in cameras and everything. And then you wonder why you feel like, oh, how come I'm the bad guy? But you decided you don't want to support your kids. So yeah, it's a yes and no. If you are not supporting your kids and you decide to dump your kids somewhere else, then you're held accountable for that, because it's not right to, kids are innocent. You brought them to this world, but you also have to be taking care of them, because it's not right to just drop the kids off and you say, oh, I'm not responding. And then you have the audacity to tell, oh, it's not my problem that I don't make that much money. I hate that. Like, rub it in.
Okay.
Like, if you make more money, let's say, I hate to use this as a scenario. Let's say there's, these parents. He's a teacher, and this one makes more money by being a stripper. And the stripper's more money than a teacher. But
Hmm.
this is from the mother. But she decided, I'm not going to be financially. But you are financially obligated because you make more money than, as your husband, as a teacher. But you decide to divorce him and you want to have party and everything. So it's a yes or no for me.
Okay. So let me answer this question. If the
Yes.
kids live with the father, then what?
If the kids and he makes less, then she is financially responsible to pay child support.
Okay.
Because I know that
So
that's not easy to take care of kids, especially
well,
one
I
in.
agree 100% with that statement, to be honest with you, Mariana. If the kid, yeah.
So
Yep. Greg, I am good. Thank you for asking, Mariana. How are you? Um, I think this is an interesting conversation because it's going to be going two different ways here. It's
Hmm.
going to go yes. Some people are going to say yes, this should be, and some are going to say no.
Hmm.
And it comes down to financial. How is the financial?
Yeah. If she makes more money, then she has to she has to put where the mouth is, whatever the case. I'm sorry if I'm not saying it correctly, but it's not fair just for, let's say, if he not enough money and it's he only has a, like, he doesn't make enough to get by,
Mhm.
enough to have a roof over your head, but you have to, you know, you have to and help out. Because if that's the case, then you have to take legal action. You're not going to be held responsible just taking care of the kids by one income. That's not how kids are, very hard to take care of, from, feeding, getting them everything, school, everything. So it's not that simple. It's not by one income. It has to be by tons.
I agree. I agree 100%. It should be like put to them, but unfortunately, this world is not fair. We both can agree on that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. It's not fair. I don't think it's right that it seems like now I feel like it's getting like it's little, I will say, the culture kind of changed in the world. Like, I don't like this. Oh, I need some me time. And what? You're responsible taking care of your kids so they're able
Mhm.
to move on, until they get themselves, ready, when they're able to move on themselves. You're not gonna expect them to, you know, do this on their own. Doesn't work that way. Mother's supposed to be nurturing, caring them. Sometimes that's not the case. I hate to say that. And it's, the world changed. Some of them, hold values and some don't. So it's very unfortunate, I will say, with that scenario. But it's sad that you have women that dump kids and give it to them. Oh, you take care of them. I don't, like, I don't want to deal with them. Listen, that, it's horrible to say that. And then
I agree.
you wonder why you end up having, all this mess going around.
I agree 100%. So let me ask this scenario.
Hmm.
So if the man is working his ass off, paying child support, doing everything he needs to, okay,
Hmm.
and the woman sits around the house doing nothing, says, "I need more money," because she doesn't want to work. Then what?
Then what?
Mhm.
Then he needs to take her to court, because I can't be supporting my kids by one income. I'm struggling and stressing myself out. And the judge needs to make a fair statement that she needs to get her ass to work. I don't think it's fair just for one individual, for a man to take care of the kids. That's too much of a burden on his shoulder. So he needs to take legal action. And hopefully, if, let's say, he cannot afford to get, some, whatever the case is, to get some help, some advice, because he cannot have somebody walk sorry, walk all over him like that.
Mhm.
Because you're in this world, you have to bust your ass to get somewhere.
I agree 100%. And it's nothing's hidden to us in this world. Let's be honest here, right?
Yes.
And we had a show about this the other day. Is a responsibility or is it a choice to be a parent? I think it's a choice. If you
Yes.
choose to sleep next to a child, I mean, a woman, and have sex, obviously, and without protection and everything, and get her pregnant, you should be responsible to pay child support. Same thing as the woman. She had the choice to lay in bed with him, have sex with him. She
Hmm.
had choice to be unprotected. She knew the risks she was taking.
Yes.
So it's a catch 22 here, I think. Can we agree on that tonight?
Yes.
So if you had to make it fair, how would you make it fair as a woman?
As a woman,
Hmm.
um we had to, as a woman, we had to do it. We had to help, a man and a woman had to help each other equally. Not like one person works and the other one doesn't work that way. You have to make it work. If you can't make it work, if the other individual decided not to make it work just by laying, then the other individual had to take legal action. Or if it's not legal, then first you're gonna ask your your family, whatever, because it's not fair. Because sometimes the family had to step in before legal, before stepping, like legal action. So
I don't
I
understand what the
think, yeah,
family has to do anything with it. Your family.
no, I mean, say I'm talking about, like, okay, you have your own, like, I mean, like, if you want to ask you have to ask your parents or you ask your
Hmm.
siblings. Sometimes it's hard to do this on one own. Like, you need somebody to help you, because you already, have your own life, but then you're struggling dealing with this. Sometimes, let's say, okay, I'm working all day, but my spouse decided not to work, and I'm taking all this burden because it's not fair. And she decided to does her own luxury, taking care of her nails or spending time socializing, hanging out with her friends. But then you realize nothing is taken care of in the house, kids not being fed, all this nonsense. And then you have to have family to support you to give it. And they say, that to you can't deal with this. You have to, like, cut it off. Can either she either work or she's out of the picture. Either way.
Okay. Unfortunately, that's not gonna work in this world. You know that they usually
Yeah.
get more. Women's get more right versus men. Unfortunately, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things like, as much as we want to be honest about that or find a way to make it fair, is not. It's never going to be fair.
Yeah. It's never fair, but they always know how to play the system, I will say, to get what they want by manipulating it. Oh, feel sorry for me. Oh, he doesn't, help me out. He doesn't support my kids. But then it's, come on. And then you wonder where the money's going. You have the kids, oh, it's for your personal luxury. That really annoys me. And and the worst part about it, and some women are so stupid, don't it? You posted about it on social media. Why? Why? Don't do that, because that's a stupid mistake. Because once you post that, it's going to be brought into the courtroom. That shows you're not a obligated or responsible mother. You're a despicable mother. So that doesn't make no sense to me.
So our boy says, no matter what man and woman have to pay
No
no
matter
matter
what.
what. And he follows up with, my wife has to pay one of her sons that lives with his dad.
Wow.
So right there tells you exactly
My,
how it's supposed to be.
yeah.
I'm not saying it's right, but
Hmm.
that's how it needs to be, I think.
Yeah.
So, so give me more feedback. What are you thinking so far? What the comments are coming in?
Me and my boyfriend benefits, and they take it out of it. I don't know. It's almost like I'm lost for words. Sometimes I don't even know the situation, but I don't think it's also not fair, you know. But sometimes you don't want to get yourself in a deeper hole as
Mhm.
it is. Um, but sometimes I hate to say it, and I'm gonna say it, you have to play the villain in order to get what you want. Because if you want to play with this pity party, and then everybody's afraid for sorry, no, and then you wonder why I don't get what I want. Like, you can't manipulate the system and say that I don't need to pay child support. So if you make more money and you decided not to be held accountable and not responsible, and you're able to spend whatever you want, then the woman is responsible to take her kids. And then let's say if she decided not to be, like, not being there physically present, then she has to pay child support. So you know. And I know it's I don't know what else can I say, because I feel that
Well, I'm gonna play two videos really fast.
yeah.
So, I want you to take this one in, comment on it, and then I'll play the
Okay.
next one. All right?
Okay.
Because this is gonna go hand to hand what we're talking about tonight.
Okay.
Found out my wife just left her corporate job for a cashier job because like she wants to get out of the payments what she's doing.
Payments of what?
Child support, ma'am.
Is there a reason why you're not paying to support this child?
I left my job and I did do it intentionally.
Wait a minute. You intentionally left your job?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
How much did you make at your last job?
Annually $70,000. Now I work at a convenience store.
How much are you making now?
$30,000 a year.
What's the qualification to work at that job?
You just need a high school diploma. to
High
work
school
as a
diploma,
housekeeper. Yes,
and you have a master's degree. I'm not about to play with you. Ma'am, I'm gonna make you pay child support. $899.60 is gonna be your monthly child support obligation that you're gonna pay each month to this man.
Wow, that's a decent chunk for what she's making. She will be forced to get another job.
I just found out.
All right, Mariana, go ahead. What do you think about that?
That judge was absolutely right.
I agree.
Absolutely, because you decided to, I'm going to escape this by decide to get to, basically a minimum wage job, which is kind of pathetic. So you're trying to escape the system.
Oh, absolutely. She's playing it. She's playing it like a fiddle, and like, and but this judge says, "Fuck you. You're not gonna fucking play with me. You're not gonna fuck the system over. Now you're gonna pay the piper."
Yeah, basically.
And that's
Like,
bullshit, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
Yeah. You
Like,
mentioned
that
before.
by that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
my
Finish what you're saying.
gosh.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying it's absolutely disgusting. But I'm gonna, the judge, like, she thinks that when she decided to go with that route, and it's kind of crazy to me. Like, she thinks that she's not gonna pay that high, and the judge basically took change out of her.
You also mentioned women who won't work to, get support, child support, right? All right. This video goes hand in hand. Hang on a second.
What do you do for a living?
I don't work.
So what do you do during the day?
Nothing.
You don't want to work?
No. Oh,
So you're just living off of his child support?
I am. And we live with our mother.
Ain't you proud of that?
Well, we were living with him, and I was a stay-at-home mom. He made the income.
But you can work now, right?
I can, but
No, but you can go get a job, right?
I could, but I'm not going to. My rent's free. My food is free. My mom's the homeowner. We don't have to pay nothing.
Who covers health insurance?
I do.
What I'm going to do is give you credit, actually. Bring your child support down. And
Down?
monthly, yes, slightly. It's still expensive. $1,093 a month.
That's it?
Well, it would be more if you get a job.
He would pay more if I got a job?
No, it would be more for the child if you got a job. What do you do for a living?
Go ahead.
my
That one really got me.
Yeah, that really pissed me off. I wish the man, I feel bad. Why in the world you got hooked up with this woman? That's the first thing. I hate to say it, but I can't blame him. But whatever the case is, that pissed me off, I will say. She have freaking freeloader. She want to live off his benefit, but
Correct.
it's for her benefit, not for her kids.
And it's bullshit because she said straight to the judge, like, I could, but I don't want to. Like, you've been having a free ride your whole life. If I was a judge, I would order her like, yo, you know what? You know the free work you don't want to do? Now you're gonna have to. I don't know if there's a law behind that. I'm not a lawyer, obviously. I'm a chef like you are. But if it was a law that forces you to get a job, this bitch will get a fucking job.
Yeah, I wish there was a law, and I'm like crazy extreme, but that's so messed up. So messed up, because so you were living, you're living off his benefit, but you decided to be a freeloader, not to work at all.
Mm-hmm.
And you complain about it like you think do I really need to work like that? Come on, are you for real? Like, that to me is a joke. It's like, I feel bad for the man, but I guess he got violated by her. I don't know how this happened, but it happens to the best of us. But oh my God, that to me is like a slap in the and
Now, how
that's
do
not
you feel that? I
right.
feel like as a woman.
As a woman, I feel ashamed. I'm embarrassed.
Hmm.
I to be honest with you, if I see a lot of women like that represented, I want to live here in this country because where my parents from, it's disgusting. That's unacceptable. I don't think that's proper. For women, you have to do your part. You have to, you have to work. To be a lazy ass bum bitch by sitting all day doing nothing. I don't understand that. If there's a lot of women like that, and then the society, and I don't know how somebody get away with that. And I know she's not the only one because that's to me, I kind of blame whoever how her upbringing was. That was a big mistake on her parents or her grandparents. I don't know how this happened, but it has to go from to that point to get where she's at. You go in life without, without working. You have to work. No, nothing is handed to you for free. You have to bust your ass to get what you want. And I know sometimes you have to take stepping stones to get where to achieve something, but that really annoys me. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit fired right now.
No, that's good. Oh shit, fucking good, Mariana. I finally got a little pep out of you for once. You're the quiet one on the panel.
Yeah. No, because it's like I can't understand that. Now, because I don't want to see that, but if I see that, it's a shame that something needs to be changed in our society. Can't, for that, it's like, are you serious? I feel like she was spoiled for too long. And come on. I understand if you're a child, but that's a grown ass woman to get away for that long and have kids. Come on. That's crazy.
Now, if you were in a situation like that, how would you handle it?
How I will handle it?
Yeah.
Like, meaning like what? Not somebody not working or explain that. I'm sorry.
Like if you were a mother, all right,
Mm-hmm.
and child support was an issue, and you had
Mm-hmm.
to pay it, how would you do it? All right, hang on one second before you answer that question. Let me get our buddy here, coach is in here. Coach, what's going on, man?
What's up, Sparta? What's up, Mariana? How you doing?
Hello.
Yeah. Before let Mariana finish her comment, I'll have you come in next, okay?
For sure.
All right, go ahead, finish your comment, Mariana.
How I will do it, like in a way, like when I'm working or he working. I'm sorry. I know I don't want to confuse you.
If you were not, if you know working and they lower your child support, would you go to work?
Yes, I have to go to work because I have to do what's necessary in order to provide out, regardless.
All right.
And also, if the case, if sometimes, if let's say, if it doesn't work, like the relationships where sometimes you have to, go separate ways, if that's
Mhm.
the worst case scenario.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
All right, coach. So the topic tonight is do women should women pay child support? Excuse me.
Okay. What you? I don't know. What you want? I don't know.
All right, let me play
So
the
you.
first two videos. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Did you watch the first video I played or no?
I didn't. I didn't have to really see it. I heard it.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a. I don't know. The fact that you have children, right? And I assume, I don't know. Most women, and I'm not going to say most women. I think a lot of women initially like the idea of having a child and having it with somebody they may. I don't think necessarily they think about the man they had a child with. A lot of women just want to have a child, and then when they have to pay, my connection is sort of weak. But
and women knows by default. It's just both mostly state laws that if they break up with the man, they're going to most will get primary custody if they have same mind, body, no hell of a drug issues, but sometimes even with drug issues, and they sort of play it. They play it today, and the man moves on, get him another woman. They'll go back and forth to child support court every 6 months, every 90 days, and the man he'll just chug along. He won't really try to fight it, you know. And he won't really act. Oh, okay, so and then let's just say a man is given the custody of the children. A woman will fight it a lot. You know, they don't want to pay. They think they're paying too much because a lot of them really at that point they still think about their own life. They still want to go out, have fun with their girlfriends. Girlfriend going out on Tuesday night, happy hour Wednesday night. You got the kid over there. That can be a problem for some women. Then every time they look at the kid, it look like the daddy. And you know, kids grow up, they develop their own personalities, and it's kids are a little bit more rambunctious when they don't have that father figure in the house. They take advantage of mothers, you know, and you know, a father, if he was giving child support, I mean, if he has custody of the kid, he more than likely won't really take her to child support unless he knows that she's working a good job and she can afford it. But you see how I heard, you know, the video where the women quit her job,
Mm-hmm.
you
That's
know,
right.
but some people just ain't shit. You know, even though they got kids, that's how it's not. It's not even about the money to the kid. It's about the time. And at least if you know you're not going to be there, I say both sides should pay. You know, but to me, the greatest thing is the time because a woman not being there, a child can still have a good result because a father's going to be a little bit more disciplined. He's going to make sure his kids getting to bed, getting this. You know, he's going to put a little bit more structure. But if a father ain't there, we seeing it. And I'm starting to see it on both sides of the aisle. It has nothing to do with color when it comes to the kids. White kids are getting just as slow and dumb as the black kids, as they say. But
I think race has really nothing to do with it as much. To be honest with you, I
it
think it's
doesn't.
more. Yeah, if you're a shitty parent, you're a shitty parent.
Shitty parent, man. You're right. That's what I'm saying. You know, because it's starting to play out in the school systems. You know, a lot of low self-esteem kids. Kids don't, you know, appreciate themselves. You see a lot of younger kids crashing out a lot more. But yeah, everybody needs to pay. The kid even need to pay child support. Yeah, and I say that in a you know the way I say, but in all actuality, the kid, you know, they pay their dues by being a you know a good person, going to school, passing at least passing all your classes. You ain't got to be the smartest, you know, but at least make C's. C's get degrees, and maybe along the way you might like it and realize you learned something. You can make A's and B's and get free money to go to school. But yeah, everybody needs to pay, man. Everybody needs to work too. I don't believe in stay at home. If I made $1 million a year, I would still want my wife to work. We can use her money for vacations because you know they like to plan and stuff. So we got the best of vacations off your checks twice a year. Let's do it. But that's just me.
Hmm. So let me ask you a question. With this woman saying she doesn't want to work, she doesn't.
Hmm.
How would you react it?
I'm gonna treat her like okay. I'm gonna look at it like she's my sister, right? She's a bum. She's a bum. You went over your mama's house, using up all your mama's electricity, raising up all her bills, and you ain't contributing nothing. Probably eat everything. Probably ain't cleaning up. She's a bum. And it's a lot of adults moving like that. And she wants no responsibility, not even for the child. She wants no responsibility because a lot of women, like I said, they don't look at the
All right,
long
my friend.
term. They don't look at the long term effects of having a child. They want the right here and now. Oh, I want somebody to love. They say all that dumb shit. Then when they get the baby, we see the results of what happened to the kid. But then you over your mama's house, probably got your mama watching your child. If you ain't working all day, at least by 12 noon, you should be doing something constructive. Kid come home from school should not go hungry. Food should already be done. Clothes should be washed. Things like that. But a lot of people sit around and think about themselves all day. And that's the problem. So,
And I totally agree with that. And it's just this is been a problem for years and years and years. I personally believe a child support should be like in this, like a
trust
bank
fund or
account.
something? Like
Something
a
like
trust
that. Thank
fund?
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
And when
agree.
you need it, you need to speak to somebody that says, "Oh, my son or daughter needs X, Y, and Z." So it doesn't matter live with you or not. You both should put child support and make it fair.
Yeah. But see, that's not going to be a rule of the land because one, it would have to take women to agree with that.
They never will.
Right. Because also the government, that's where the feminism of us plays a part because a lot of that money, a lot of men get behind. Just what it is. A lot of men get behind. I've been looking at this since the 70s, right? When they first implemented it. And you may spend the next 50 years paying for that, although your child turned 18 30 years ago. You got 25 more years to pay, and they add interest to it. They started adding interest. And a lot of that money goes into the pockets of the judges. They pocket a lot of that money. And some states charge you 40% of your income, your untaxed income. So just imagine if you're making $2,500 a month, you're young. Yeah, you should have wrapped it up, but the baby's here. But that doesn't mean I shouldn't have opportunity to raise my child, at least at a certain age. I'll say 5 or 6, but most kids are already washed out by that age because 0 to 3 is the most crucial age. You see it in a lot more kids now. They're behind in their motor skills. They're behind in their emotional skills, the non-communicative skills. And they grow up to be adolescents. Then you see them as teenagers. And then you're seeing a whole bunch of adults over that long time period you've been talking about, struggling emotionally because they never got the balance of mother and father. Even if I'm a shitty dude in a relationship, don't mean I can't be a good father to my kids. Once I know it, I also recommend every man get a DNA. If you get a woman pregnant, you make sure you get a DNA. So if you're going to pay, make sure you're paying for your son or your daughter and fight for joint custody early. I work with a lot of men about that. Tell them don't run from it early. You making $40,000 a year, pay your child support out of that 40. So when you're making 60, the child is grown, you're all done, and you can get all your $60,000 a year. Because when you miss it in the United States, and I'll just be honest, especially as a black man, you can't run from it. They stop everything. Anybody over, I think, 2,500, passport, nope. You got certifications like a plumber, welder, anything to get a certification, access denied. So it puts you in a poor state. And once you get behind, they can lock you up and continue to have you paying money through the courts too. And child support. They understand that whole system. It's generated millions, I say trillions over the last, 40, 50 years.
Let me play the next video because this goes really what you're saying. Because I don't want to say too much to you. I play this video. Where is it? Here it is. Because this one really, another one that really got to me.
What's the legal basis that you're asking to be removed from child support?
What am I paying child support for when I can take care of my own child? My child is just currently living with him because I'm on the road due to my business and entertainment and stuff like that. But as far as cash apps and financial responsibility, I do that without him. My child is almost 18, so I don't feel like I need to go through him for everything.
Okay, I understand. And you say he's almost 18, so he's 17.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What grade is he in?
He's a senior, 12th.
He's 17, but He's a senior?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, got you. When does he graduate?
In May.
All right. Okay. Is there anything else you want me to know? What's the legal basis that you're asking?
Go ahead. What do you think about that, guys?
Wait a minute. She say she want to get out of child support till till he reached 18. I thought it was till 25. Is it?
No,
That's what I'm.
legally it's 18 unless
Okay.
they go to college
Okay.
and you agree. It's up until like, say your son's going to college, you be like, yeah, I'll agree to support it, and then yes, but 18 is it, and or unless they turn 18, but he don't graduate until he's 19. As long as they in through high school, you pay. Don't matter. They can be 21. If he wants to graduate high school, you pay. But then 18, and that's just recently, I would say the last 3 to 5 years, where states sort of changed the laws that when 18, it stops. Now, anything college, you would agree to it and you do it on your own. But it used to be, if they want to go to college or something, you would pay through that time. And also, if your child joins the military, I think, it would stop.
Okay. Well, yeah, go ahead.
If the kid is in college, that's goes up to 25, right?
Yeah, 24, they have to be done graduated before 25.
Okay.
So if he's 24, and typically 24 is more than 4 years. See, but they have to be, it can't be that, I go to school for 2 years, then I drop out for a year. No, once they quit, it's over.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's get this guy in here really fast. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our president. Mr. President, how are you doing tonight? You get a kick out of that as much as we do.
Not really, but I was honestly kind of scared coming on here tonight, to be honest with you, because I saw Mariana. I saw a side of her I'm not used to seeing before. That wasn't Mariana, because there was no Mary. Mary, it's like Mary had a little in. Mary's gentle. That was Ayana, right? So it's like she's.
Oh, you don't know that well. She has a
no.
bite
That's Ayana. What we heard earlier, that was Ayana.
Yeah.
Right. This is Mariana here, but Ayana came out. So I just got to be mindful. There's a Mariana and then there's an Ayana. When Ayana comes out, then guys, no one's safe. So I'm just saying.
You know what? It was something I had a talk with my coworker. Something happened, and that because I feel bad, and I felt bad, and she told me all these things, and she basically, that's what, because I feel so bad for her, and you're not being treated well. That kind of rub it off on me.
I'm just saying. It's just there. You're like Bruce Banner. It's like, please don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. I'm just saying. I was like, I couldn't believe it. So. So I'll just be very nice. I'll be nice and calm tonight. I won't get you upset. I'll try my best not to.
So Paul, we got on this, my man.
Well, I mean, obviously, there's, of course, whoever has, if you're going to have kids, you're going to have to pay for your kids. I mean, that's, I think that's across the board. But I think it's funny because I was having a conversation with my wife about a friend of hers and, just where she is, where the kids and everything. I mean, divorce or just separation is just hard on everybody, it's just like, no one comes out of these things unscathed. And even though, you can't, predict how things are going to go or whatever, there are things you can do to ensure that, or at least, increase your chances of having a better outcome. And I just got a feeling just with just all the videos that you played tonight, I just have just a suspicion that the kids came first. And that's why I'm always telling people, again, ladies, marry before you carry, or guys, zip it up, strap it up, whatever you got to do, but no babies until you want to be a parent. Because also you hear in the language of these people, they didn't want to be parents, especially the women that you were playing earlier. They don't want to be parents.
Nope.
The last one was talking about, yeah, I got to be on the road. I'm doing my business. I want to, I mean, if she could run it back, she never would have had a kid. And I just think that so many people, you know, because you're for a moment of passion or what have you, you just think about the immediacy of the moment versus the ramifications of it. And most people are not ready to have kids. Most men, young men especially, you're not ready to have kids. And you're not in a position to, you know, to really take care of kids. So, you know, so I'm always encouraging people, if I have the opportunity to be around a young man that will listen, yeah, I would say, yeah, if she can't be your wife, do not procreate with her. Just bottom line, you know. And ladies, you know, I mean, all the contraceptives that are available, keep it there until you think that you can really bond and trust with this person. Now, one video that you play with the woman who was like, she didn't want to pay because, you know, she lived at her mom's house and all that. I got to put some of that on those around her. Yes, she's a lazy person, no doubt, but she's been enabled all her life. Her parents enabled her in order to be able to do that. She said she was a stay-at-home wife all that time. Hey, shout out to Craig. Good to see you. You know, and then she said she was a stay-at-home mom all that time. Well, the guy allowed her to do that. So like, coach is like, look, you know, he doesn't believe in staying home, that, you know, you need to be working. Even if he's a millionaire, you need to be working. I do, you know, believe that there's something to be said for productivity. Now, I know my wife, she stayed home for 6 years with our kids until they got to grade school, and then she went to work. But again, we didn't have kids for 3 years. So I would hope that more people would just have that understanding. There's a big difference between getting married and having children. They are chasms apart. And don't rush into either one of them unless you're truly ready for it. There's nothing wrong with being married and having no kids for a while. There's nothing wrong with that. I wish more people would do that and really live in a marital situation so that you can really understand, like, you know, is this someone I want to build a legacy with? Or is it just of convenience that we're together and, you know, he or she fills my needs for now, whatever, but you're not really serious about, you know, trying to do anything. So yeah, I mean, I think that's the big thing. But as far as the payments, yes, everyone should pay. If certainly whoever has primary custody, the other one should pay. And certainly based on income, no question. The only thing I would like to see in the system, and again, I don't know why people may be against this, but I really think that child support should be itemized. Now, again, I do taxes every year. And if I want to take you can take your standard deduction, or if you have enough of them, you can take an itemized deduction. And I have to basically list out all my mortgage interest and all those things that I if I want those additional benefits, I have to itemize it. When I was taking care of my mom, when she had Social Security benefits, I was a representative payee on Social Security. I had to give a listing every year. They sent me a form. I had to give a detailed breakdown of where all the money went. So I couldn't spend her Social Security money haphazardly. I had to report everything down to the cent.
Wow.
And I think that alimony payment, well, not so much alimony, but child support payments, I think it should be similar. If it's supposed to be going towards the child, then, you know, you should be able to itemize every penny of that and give an accounting. And if you see some discrepancies and, you know, or you're not seeing, or if they're reporting things and you're not seeing them, so I spent on the kids, and you're like looking at the kids and be like, you know, what's up? Then I think there needs to be an accounting of that. And I think there should be fines for perjury, just like what I did as a payee, or if you lie on your taxes. I think there should be consequences for perjuring yourself when it comes to expenses. But I would like to see an accounting of monies that is being paid out. Is it going for the, um, if it's going towards the kids, then everything you spend that on should be the kids. It shouldn't be your nails. It shouldn't be your hair. It shouldn't be on trips. It shouldn't be on cars. It shouldn't be on, anything that does not benefit the child. And I think an accounting of that, I think, would do a lot to limit the abuses that oftentimes take place when child support payments are made. So that would be the that would be the one thing I would want to see change in the system. You have to be accountable for the monies that you're taking, and not just think you can just use those on anything, that you want to.
Brother Bennett, here's why I have a question there, right? Because even the housing is part of what goes to the child. So if a woman is paying $1,000 a month for a 1-2 bedroom or whatever, I think, depends on the age of the child, 2-bedroom, right? If I send her $800 and she can say the money's going towards rent, then there's no really way of not proving it, because even if she works, she can use her money and buy all the stuff that we, sort of say child support shouldn't go to, and just say, okay, well, I paid the rent every month. Here's the receipt of what I did with the money, because I don't know the form that they get it. I think it's a bank goes directly, however the state or whoever, how they send it to them, direct deposit or whatever. So, but they can, and that's the bad part, because there's no way of really tracking how they spend the money.
Yeah. Well, again, I think there needs to be some rules, and I understand that. But again, it's the same thing with tax filers. You can say this money went towards this. I mean, you got a business, an S corp or whatever, and all the money that you're coming in, so well, it went towards bogus expenses. I mean, again, it's not foolproof. But I'm just saying, but having some sort of accounting, and then you can set up some rules. Like if you are the primary caretaker, or if you maintain the residence, I don't think child support necessarily should be going towards the residence. If you fought for custody, you have custody. There's nothing that should be saying, unless you're getting alimony, then I would say, okay, well, that can possibly go towards the mortgage or whatever. But if it's kids, we're talking about child expenses, clothing, food, certain things. Again, you got to have some rules. Like, for example, you can't spend, even toys, right? You shouldn't necessarily be able to spend all the child support money on toys, for example, because again, those aren't necessities that the child necessarily needs. So if you went and you getting $500 a month, you decide to buy your kid an Xbox or something, or a PlayStation, I don't think that should be allowed either. You know what I mean? And again, and you have to show receipts, because again, just like if I'm going to be federally filing, now I'll report it. Now again, if I get it audited, I got to show receipts for all that stuff. And so that's another thing. So if you put it down, if we audit, and maybe you should every couple years or so, there should be an auditing that takes place. I need a receipt from all these things that you listed, that this is what you paid on. I need to be able to see it. And I don't think rent or mortgage should be necessarily part of child support, because again, you got to maintain that residence anyway. So again, I think, yeah, I mean, it needs to be fleshed out. I'm talking in broad strokes here, and I think there needs to be some nuances in there to certainly offer up some protections. But
let me ask you this question, Paul.
Yeah.
What about healthcare? Do you think that should be a part of it?
Well, healthcare, if you saw from those videos, healthcare is separate from child support.
Mm-hmm.
That's a separate.
Yes, you get credit usually for child support.
Yeah, so that's a separate
for healthcare. You know what I meant?
Yeah, so that's a separate piece of the puzzle as well, and that goes directly towards that. I guess whatever that he's. But
the healthcare is the ripoff. That's the ripoff. Because think about it, they give you credit for maybe $50 on your child support rate. How much is healthcare for your family through your job?
Oh, it's hundreds
Every
of dollars a month.
see what I'm saying? Every 2
what I'm
weeks.
saying is, but that's not going to her. It's going to the healthcare provider. So if you got kids, it's like,
Right.
and it
It's,
doesn't
it's a
matter how many.
ripoff.
So you got single, you got couple, and you have children. Children obviously is the most. You're gonna pay that whether you have 1 kid or 10. It's the same cost. But that goes directly to the healthcare company for the kids that you're covering. So it's not going to her. So again, I don't want to put healthcare into the discussion because again, she's not taking that. We're talking about the abuses that would take place if you gave her that money directly and what she's going to do with it.
But they do add that cost on top of the child support too. It's sort of calculated in.
They do. That's
So
what I'm saying. It's separate, but that's not. I don't think that the healthcare is what people are arguing about.
No, they just arguing about the initial amount that's paid, because some states can charge you up to 40% before taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most states are adapting that measure. So if I'm making $2,000 and they take 40% off the top, and we can see that we would doubt if the child is getting 40% of your income every month. And again, once you're in the position, that's why I said you have to just sort of bite the bullet and pay it, because you can't run from it. They'll come back at 50, 60, 70. When you retire, think you go get your Social Security, they go calculate that child support out of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're unemployed and you get unemployment, they go calculate your child support out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't run from it. Mm-hmm. And, the laws need to be, I guess, worked with both sides. But I doubt if.
I think that's never going to happen.
Just to answer his ghetto point of view, yes. Child support shouldn't be going towards a woman's nails, hair, trips to Jamaica, and trips to Dubai and all that. Yeah, that's not.
Yeah,
that doesn't help the children out. Yeah, so I don't agree with that.
40% of one child could be up to 40%, and then if you have more than one child through other women, you have 3 cases. Then first one to get 40, second one to maybe get 10 and 10 or 20, depends on how many children. So yeah, it's a bad deal if you do it alone outside of marriage. So think about it.
All right, let's play the next video really fast, guys.
Making $150,000 a year.
All right, I'm bringing her to court today to try to increase my child support. We have 2 kids. She makes quite a bit of money. I'm a school teacher, I only make $50,000. I just need a little help. She helps everybody else, but she doesn't help the kids like she should. Yeah.
How much money are you getting right now from her?
$450.
You so mad that you
The
broke.
Ooh, ma'am, don't do that. Don't do that.
I didn't tell him to be a little teacher. That was on him.
Don't call him a little teacher. That's not nice. Don't do that.
He chose to be a teacher. I chose to be a real estate agent. That's all. You
bringing your monthly child support to $2,550.
Why did you do this?
No,
wait a minute.
Excuse me. You said, Your Honor, I make about $150,000. Did you say that?
I did say that.
Right. You did say that. So that's what I based it on.
Shut up.
How much are you making?
Coach, I'll let you go first because you have something to say.
No, I saw this, a while back, man. I mean,
shout out to the judge though. She's good. She's good. She's probably the fairest judge on court in the court TV shows. She's probably the fairest.
Yeah, I thought it was.
There's one other guy in Texas too. He's very fair, and he actually helped a lot of people stay out of jail because it's like there's no evidence. But she's one of those 2. I'll give him credit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I thought it was skits at first, just because how the judge played it out always. But yeah, that's the way it is. If you're making $140,000, you're looking to pay $2,000 a month. You got it.
Yeah.
What you complaining for? You got it. And again, and that's why I say I pray for my son every day. We had this conversation over the weekend, man. About listen, son, do not have no children out of wedlock, man. It put you behind the 8 ball for years. for years. But yeah, you know, the law is what the law is. The law is not gender specific. It says the non-custodial parent will pay an amount up to 40% of their non-taxable income. But again, the judges, they calculate it and they do maybe 30%. And that's why I say get locked in early when the baby's young. That's when you can fight for those rights. You can get custodies. You can take advantage of those things, especially if they're a traveling employee and they move around or they have unstable. Those are things that you can use for your benefit. And again, it's not about the money. I wouldn't care if somebody gave $100. That $100, I think most men would want their children to have the best over a period of time, and they would sort of be able to look at the money I'm bringing in to support myself, and I'm getting an extra couple of $100. A lot of it's going to the bank. And maybe birthdays, we going on vacation. Hey, we going to Disney World, and we're going to hit every ride we can, and we're just going to live. I mean, so as long as the kid is getting it and the kid's thriving, extracurricular activities, things like that, everything else, man, we're just going to eat good, you know, and sleep on good mattresses, I guess, man. Do things, you know.
What do you think, Paul? Anything else to say on this?
No, I mean, I think that it goes back to about, you can hear it in her attitude. She cares nothing about the kids.
Yeah.
Again, because a lot of people have to ask the question, do you want to be a parent?
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the guy that she was with, well, look, you picked him as a lowly or little school teacher. But then you want to chide him on the fact that he is one. And you decided, I guess, you wanted to quote unquote level up. So you went and did your real estate thing, made your $150K. I'm not mad at you for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, you know, now you want to downplay him and say, oh, well, he chose to be a little school teacher. Well, you chose to father bait kids with him. And I don't know what you were making before you decided to do do your thing.
Yeah.
But again, it still boils down to, again, you put your career, you put your lifestyle and luxuries over the care of your kids. And then when you're held to account for it, then you're literally asking, why did you do that?
Yeah. And we know the real estate market. The real estate market is unstable anyway.
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying?
that's the thing. She messed up because it's unstable. If that market drops, she still got to pay that $2,000.
Yeah, that's why you shut up. That's what I say.
So again, but you have a lot, and there was another show where you had another lady. I guess she was some sort of influencer or whatever, and I think she might have been making money like taking her clothes off or something. But like Instagram models or something, and that's unstable also. But guess what? You said, well, you're making all this money off of social media, so guess what? You're going to be locked in to pay that money. So you better stay in shape. Don't gain too much weight or whatever. You better keep doing what you're doing.
18 years now.
And maintain that money coming in. Yeah, 18 years later, you better keep that body together. You better, get on the beach. I don't know, but keep yourself in shape because that money has to keep coming in no matter what. You have an up year, you have a down year, or people don't no longer attractive anymore. You're gonna have to keep that up. So it just, to me, it's still, at the end of the day, it just boils down to selfishness and people not looking at what it takes to have a family. It starts with the man and the woman, making sure you guys are good, and if you guys are good, then choose to bring kids in the world. And that process, I just don't think.
Oh, you come in a little muffled for some reason.
Yeah, you coming in. Start to come in.
A little bit muffled.
That's good. That's better.
That's better.
Okay. So yeah. I mean, you're gonna have to make some decisions in terms of what you really want. But yeah, if you don't want to have kids, don't have them. I mean,
for sure.
I just that, to me, that's the easiest decision in the world to make. Just don't have them.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sparta, can I respond to a ghetto point of view comment?
Yeah, which one?
Well, about when the woman said called the man a little teacher, and then he said,
This
then
one
why
right here?
wonder man? Yeah, then wonder was it wonder why men don't want to teach anymore? It's not enough funds. Listen, technically there are enough funds. Teachers make, after maybe 5 or 6 years, they make about 75 to 85, 90,000 a year because you get tenured. Yeah, but it ain't about that at first. It's about the kid. I would rather teach than do social work because in teaching, you have a chance to inspire minds. Social work, you just writing down the reaction of what people say and you have to tell them what to do. Teaching is different because if I spend a year or two with a young child and I'm giving them the inspiration they need, that 1 year changes a whole lifetime going forward, brother. So it pays off. So when they make it in the NFL and they remember Mr. Ghetto's point of view was my best teacher and mentor, guess whose house they gonna buy? Yours. Guess whose car they gonna buy? Yours. Because they'll never forget it. It goes a lifetime, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. All right, this one is actually pretty interesting, and I have a lot of videos tonight, so bear with me, guys. Wrong button. Nope, nope, nope. Here you are. This one annoyed me a little bit. So you seen it.
Here's the memory we're getting ready to make because I made my ruling. You have capped out, according to Texas guidelines, your gross is $9,200 a month. Child support is set at $2,300. You're going to do a reimbursement to Medicaid for $276, making your monthly child support payment $2,576.
That's how much you gotta pay.
No, that's how much you gotta pay.
Thank you, Your
The
Honor.
children live with him.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I don't see the celebration.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. What happened to the celebration? Because you're the one that's paying that $2,576. The children live with him. He should not pay you anything.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And I said I made my ruling, so I really don't have to hear anything further. Did you have any questions about that number?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Here's the memory.
Paul, you go first. You got a kick out of that one.
It's just the yeah, I think it's fair. I mean, the kids live with him, so he's taken on most of the responsibilities, the housing, those sort of things, and obviously she must be making a pretty good coin since she's basically capped out at the 90, so she's making over 6 figures. And so that $2,000 a month number that she has to pay, that's commensurate with with her income. So yeah, I find it completely fair that they pay child support, and quite frankly, I don't even have a problem with alimony, because that's the big thing now as well, that you have certain if you're the woman who's making more money. And if alimony is due, now again, you have a lot of men, they'll say, well, look, as a man, you shouldn't take alimony. But if you're talking about everything is one pot, everything is marital property, then if you choose to marry a guy who, where you make substantially more than him, I don't mind that either. So alimony, whoever, makes the most, if you didn't have the prenup ahead of time or whatever financial arrangement that you had to have. I know Mary J. Blige, she wasn't happy about paying alimony to her ex, but hey, and all the women were upset about it, but you weren't upset, when the shoes were on the other foot. So yeah, I mean, with much power comes great responsibility, and that's from Spider-Man, by the way. But when you balling like that, yeah, you gotta level up and take on the responsibilities that come with that opportunity that's been given to you.
Anybody else want to comment this before I answer my next question?
I agree with the judge, but this, I will say, the stupid thing that she kind of laughed about it, like she will celebrate. She think that money's gonna go to her, so she should shut her mouth to begin with, because you basically expose your character. Why, if you think that if the kids is living with him, she's responsible. You're making more than him.
Mhm.
So I definitely agree with the judge.
Coach, anything on this before we move on?
I mean, I agree with what everybody else said, man. You know, like I said, that was Texas. Texas don't play. They do not play. If she doesn't pay over time, well, I give it maybe a year or so. They had interest to that, and they had interest every day. So, and if she gets behind over 2,500, I think no passports. They start suspending licenses. Even if you're a real estate agent, they'll suspend your license. So it's you might as well pay whatever the order is early. Pay it, shut up, get a new job, shut up. Don't take your new girlfriend around too early. Don't pull up in your new car too soon. Because they'll use that against you in court, and the courts don't give a damn what kind of car you drive. Oh, you got money to get a car? Then you can put some more money on this child support. So,
Now, do you guys think child support lawyers or support lawyers, whatever they're called, are kind of favorite one?
favor the
One up.
courts.
I'm sorry.
They favor the courts.
I was gonna say more like a favorite females versus the males.
The courts.
Think so?
Yes, the courts.
Yeah, I don't think it's a matter of gender. I think it's where they find out the opportunity. I mean, the courts are already slanted to give, I think, deference to the moms to have custody generally. So you already have that slant anyway. But again, the lawyer, like anything else, they're going to operate in the best interest of their client. So if the court is going to be stacked towards the mother's side, at least unless you can prove that the mom, she's negligent, she's just not capable or fit enough to care for the kids, then then that can change. But any lawyer who's representing you should be looking after your best interest. So again, if I'm the man, I certainly want a lawyer that is going to go into it. We're trying to operate under the conditions or under the way things are established, the best outcome for me in that situation, or more importantly, in the best interest of the children.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's but again, I don't want to exclude the guys also, because again, as much as I hear about and I've heard about the situation, how it is, what's stacked against you in the courts or whatnot. I still go back to, again, guys don't have kids. Yeah, I mean, knowing all of that, the uphill battle against you, but yet you act with your Johnson and not your mind. And so again, I mean, you got to really take some agency there. As Coach said earlier, yeah, if she says it's your kid, yeah, take that paternity test no matter what. Don't, at the hospital, don't sign any documents.
None.
Until you are 100% sure that is your child. All those things are available to you, but again, a lot of guys just don't,
think.
Don't take that up, or you're just acting in the moment. And again, you can't, when you talk about children, it's an 18-year plus commitment. You cannot take those chances. So if anything, they used to have that program, Coach Scared Straight. If they would take these kids into prison and
I remember that. Yeah.
So I'm like, this is another form of Scared Straight to me. You should go into a paternity court and see all the pitfalls and things that'll be there for you. So that should scare you straight, not to be going out there acting recklessly, sleeping with women, regardless of what the manosphere space talks about. It's in our nature, and it's human evolution. All these things that people say. There's a reality out there that if you don't comply, forget your biology. Your biology doesn't matter in the courts. So you can't be complaining about what's going on when you had the agency to do something different. So if this doesn't scare you straight, I don't know what will.
All right, you guys, anything else before we move to the next video?
No.
Where's Ayanna? I thought Ayanna would be out.
Yeah. It will come out. See
I'm
something that
worried. I was waiting for another Ayanna outburst. I haven't seen
that
it yet.
song will not help.
Well, something will piss you off probably. I have a lot to say. I can piss you off. You know that.
Yeah, well,
It's
let her start her out first to respond to the next video. Then maybe me and Coach, because we have kind of these soothing voices. Maybe we just kind of mellow out the
Mariana, I'm giving you one opportunity.
We quell the Ayanna, but let her have the first crack at the next video. Then so
I want you to release the beast. You got my permission.
Oh my God!
Release the Kraken. Right?
Whoa there. Pause, Paul. Pause. Big time.
I'm paying child support.
Okay, so that's why you're here. You're trying to get off child support.
She wants an increase.
He lived with you. Dad should be the person receiving child support from you.
From me.
That's what I said.
I don't think that he should stop paying the child support.
What do you think he should do?
Pay me more.
Pay you more?
Yes.
While your son lives with him?
Well, I still see my son.
Keep talking, I'm listening. I'm just taking down some notes.
I've said my piece. I wanted an increase in the child support.
We are going to stop Dad's child support. You will start paying child support today. It brings your monthly obligation to $2,040 a month.
That's more than he was paying me.
He makes $40,000 a year. How much are you making in your?
I actually like that one the most because she goes, he should pay me more, but the kid lives with dad. So fuck you. I want the money. And then the judge goes, no, fuck you. Now you're paying the fucking child support, you fucker. Mariana, release the beast.
Is she's on crack or something? I don't understand. Like, he's supposed to pay more. Are you for real? Like, are you serious? Like, she has such the audacity to tell that to the judge. That don't make no sense. No, what are you doing? I mean, I thought you were hiding because I was, but it just like I'm about to like lose my marbles right now. For her to say that. Are you for real? And the judge is absolutely right about on this. Come on.
Now, Mariana, let me ask you a question. Serious question right now. If that was you paying child support, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the kid was living with you,
Mm-hmm.
and the other person was just collecting. Let's say it was you and Paul had a baby. Okay, I use you as a victim, Paul. Sorry. So, and
I told you talk about y'all the ones not married here. You guys,
right? Y'all the ones. Like,
y'all the ones. Hey,
put y'all together.
No. Hang on. Two single people here. They live in this. Hey, I think
right there.
Right there. I'm seeing. You seeing what I'm seeing, Coach?
Live on the same block.
Paul, I gotta do it. I'm sorry.
You've reached your limit on time.
Next door neighbors and stuff. They next door neighbors, and he want to put them on us.
Yeah, I'm not stupid. I know what kind of baggage she comes with.
No, man, you come with it too.
Y'all all got both y'all got that. In fact, the fact that I heard Ayanna come out tonight, I'm even more convinced. You guys are much more the same than not. So this might be. I thought you guys were too. So I think you guys are much more alike than different. So
both y'all scared. So y'all make a perfect fit.
Yeah, Coach, man. Yes.
Both y'all scared, man. Come on, man. What we talking about?
We got almost 40 plus years of.
I'm gonna kill both of you
guys. I'm just saying.
Oh, wait till Saturday. Oh, I'm gonna get you back. We're late.
Look, Peter,
wait till Saturday.
Peter, don't be trying to get off track. Don't be trying to get off of it. Go ahead, man. You're tired, man. What we talking about?
Pretend me and you had a baby. How's that sound? All right.
There you go, man.
A little Alexander, we're gonna call him.
A little
Peter. After my dog.
Have a little Peter running around. There you go. Yeah.
Little party. There was a community tonight.
A little spotter.
He was living with you, and you're paying me child support. How would you feel? Hey, don't hold back.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit. Sorry, let me
Little
slow down.
Alexander, Junior Alexander,
Okay.
third or fifth or whatever you want to call him, was living with you, and you're paying me child support. Don't hold back. How would you feel?
Okay. I will get freaking pissed off. Because what? Because the child's living with me, but you? Is that what
Yeah,
it
why
is?
not?
Fuck
Fair.
that. You don't deserve shit.
I'm saying the parent here, man. I'm saying this just blossom before my very eyes here.
Hey, man, maybe we can have us a nice little Christmas surprise.
This is a match made in heaven right here, man.
Yeah, the Christmas surprise, a New Year's bang.
Coach, I am gonna kick your big head around the corner.
Hey, man, listen, man. I can just see y'all a little bit. No, I'm just messing around. Little Sparta running around talking about.
He'll be saying this to you.
No, I don't want to suffer. Why should I suffer? That's the thing.
I'll give him a little sword and fucking stab everybody in the fucking gut.
Don't do it.
But seriously, how pissed will you be?
Really pissed. That's unfair. That's uncalled for. Because the child's with me, and that I don't get this financial support. That doesn't make no sense to me. So like, why? And then the child's only living with me, but I'm still taking care of the child, and that's come on.
Let me ask you this question, Mariana. All right.
Yes.
You think it's fair? And I'll ask you guys next. If one of us paid child insurance, and one of us pays whatever the kids needs, like clothes, diapers, formulas, whatever. Do you think that's a fair even break?
If we do equal parts, it's fair, but not one individual paying, the other doesn't.
What do you guys think?
What was the question again exactly?
If one of us pay, let's say I pay child support and Mariano's paying insurance, you think that's a fair split?
But again, like Brother Bennett said earlier, when you get insurance through your companies, sometimes it's more than child support. Sometimes the insurance. So that little $40, $50 that they may get, it may not outweigh what the child support is, but it's already been taken out of your check for insurance, double sometimes the amount of child support. So you really, it's about the same.
Coach, I'll give you an example. One company I work for, the insurance was for a single person, $120.
So how much for a family? About $350 a pay period?
So I'll say about $500. Yeah.
Is that a month or a pay period?
Per period.
Yeah, so it's $1,000 a month. Yeah.
Okay. See, that's what I'm saying. So your child support may not be number $600 a month.
But I think the difference is, again, emotionally, because I think a lot of these issues often come up again, how the mother and the father are feeling towards one another, right?
That's the problem.
It's the idea that you think the other one is taking advantage of the other. Like, if I'm giving her this money, then she's going to do with it, and it's just to spite me. But again, if you truly love your kids, then again, that money that's coming out for the health insurance is going to like a neutral arbiter. Like it doesn't matter what side the healthcare company is on or whatever. There's just like, look, how many kids, and again, the amount stays the same no matter how many kids you have. If you got 1 kid or 10 kids, you paying the same money. It doesn't go up because you have more than one child. So in a lot of ways, the medical part is easier mentally to deal with. It's also the fact that they're taking out your paycheck. It's steady. It's almost like you don't have to worry about it. It's kind of done. So I think for a lot of people, paying the health insurance is much easier, even though it may result in being more than what the actual child support is. But again, I think a lot of that has to do with the parent. And I will say this: I think a lot of that determination also has to do with the jobs that the folks have. Like, for example, like my wife takes care of our health insurance because she works for the state. And so
Yeah, it's a lot
generally
cheaper.
speaking, state, what they have to pay, and we get the same, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, whatever, is out there, they pay a lot less than those in the private sector.
Yeah.
So for us, it was a no-brainer. I'll get it through you
Right.
and pay a lot less. So I think as a judge, if you're looking at that, I think that might be another element to look at. If they're both working, who has the better or the cheaper health care that makes most fiscal sense and to pay? If you're paying double for your health care, then maybe she should pay for that then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, I think those are things where if you're talking about, again, the best interest of the child and what's going to cause the least amount of pain, I think that's also a fair way to do it. Because especially if you're working in a place where they don't have a decent plan,
Yeah.
then it may not make sense to do that. Or you might want to go through this the federal, I don't know, they call it they used to call Obamacare. I don't know what they call it now, but I'm just saying. But
Cent. They call it.
Yeah,
Cent.
where you can find your own little healthcare service.
Yeah, I'm saying so. I think that's something you can shop for and find the best deal that, again, that has the least amount of harm to everybody involved. But again, you shouldn't necessarily have to overpay for health insurance. But for us, we always shop for not only the cheapest, but also the best, and certainly what we've enjoyed over the years with our kids and everything. Getting it through my wife, that was like that was an easy decision for us. Even though I make more, but it was just it was a no-brainer for us.
Go through the best, and that's what the benefits of having. I don't want to use a bird partner, but if you are in a committed relationship or married, that is a benefit that parties can take advantage of. When you're having when you're having children and there's no real commitment between the parents, then more than likely a lot of the states typically ask the mother if they want him to pay medical. Some say yes, some say no.
Yeah.
And that's where it begins to get dangerous financially for the person who's going to be paying, because now you have to add that to your insurance, and you see that that's expensive. And if I'm receiving child support, most people want their full amount that they are allocated to get. And that's where it can get sort of messed up for men. So protect yourself at all costs, fellas. And ladies, I mean, if you know you don't want to have to support it, think about it. Because sometimes fathers are the best fit for the child. And the courts see it too. So
Yeah, I agree.
Coach, how do you feel about the sex of the child factoring into where the child goes? So, like, if you have a son, would you favor that the court should, by default, give custody over to the father, and if it's a daughter, then the court should maybe favor staying with the mom? How would you feel about that? I know it's probably never going to happen, but I'm just curious what you think about that.
no, there are some fathers who get custody of daughters. There are some fathers that do that. And to me, from my experience and what I've seen, I don't care either way. Again, because it comes back to the best interest of the child. Like I said, if a mother's traveling nurse, the best person to lead that child with is his father, instead of trying to get health care and all, babysitters and do all of that. And if the father's a trucker, then yes. But if we live within 2 miles from each other, 2 miles from the child's school, at that point, I think they should, consider. I don't know. It's hard to prove that someone is unfit. And I'll say this, and I shut up, just because when I was working for the state in foster care, right? If a parent was brought up on neglect or abuse, what they would do is they would give the parent at least 2 years to get it together. A lot of parents would understand that. And they would come to court every 90 days, 6 months, and say, okay, what have you done? And me as the worker, whether grooming wanted to go get some parenting classes or not, whether he wanted to stop smoking weed or drugs or whatever, I would still have to do the referral for him to go get those services. So he can come in the next time in court and he hadn't done anything. And the court's going to be like, well, Mr. Grooming, we hope that you get it. But me, if I didn't do that referral, I'm going to be reprimanded. And parents would do that up until the 17th, 18th month of the child being in the system. Now they decided to get it together, and sometimes, a lot of time, they were allowed to go back to the parent, because they always have a return home goal who may have committed the act or whatever. Me, I would think just based off of what I would hope for, what I saw, that it doesn't matter if it's a boy or girl. The best parent to me should be the one, whether it's a man or a woman. So yeah, I really don't favor a side. I just look for who's best fit, and if they both are close, why can't we have joint custody? If I could take the baby, you can take the baby to school, depending on the work schedule. I could pick the baby up, and vice versa. And you file the baby on taxes one year, I'll file the baby the next year. But that's only allotted for you if you do child support early. You can't be $8,000 in arrearages and say, I want to file joint custody. The courts won't let you do it. You have to be at zero balance to do that.
I know for a situation like example, King Smith, when his daughter was living in his area, they were only about like a few blocks away. They had a great agreements. You can come over when she wanted. She stayed a couple of days at his house, a couple of days at her house. So it worked very well. I'm not sure what agreement had child support was, if it was any. So there was no issues between those two about with at least with his daughter.
Yeah.
So
and that could happen, as long as they agree. Sometimes most of the time, you don't go see a judge first. You go see an arbitrator, and they sit down and listen to both sides and say, okay, you agree to have your child. A lot of people say no, unfortunately, because they looking at money only. They don't care about the kid. But the ones that say, yes, I want that, they see a difference in the child's behavior as they get older. Kids become a little bit more well-balanced, a little bit more sociable, a little bit more disciplined when it comes to school. They not behavior problems, a little bit more confident in themselves because they get to get both sides of the apple. They see both sides. A father, he's not going to let his daughters dress a certain way. A father, he ain't going to let his son just be rampant in the streets. You're gonna get some discipline on a Tuesday. You're going to bed early. I got to be at work at 7:30. Get your ass and get in the tub by 8:30, 9 o'clock. And everybody go get a good night rest. Now, over mama's house, hey, I might get to bed at 10, 11, 12. Because our boyfriend coming over. But I've seen it all, man. I've seen the worst. I'm like, oh my God, please don't do it. But it takes consistency. People just have to have the conversations with people because some people just do what they've seen and that's how they run their house. But instead of taking the ownership and say, hey, I want to run my house a little different. I'm going to use the money for the best benefit of the child. So.
Yeah, I've seen situations like the stepfather or the new man in the woman's life will be more a role model than his actual biological father. He might step up, discipline correctly, and everything. And sometimes the actual father says, "I don't like that," and there's issues with that. So they can go catch 22 too. So it's one of those things. I think we're going to end a little early tonight. Before we go in our final thoughts, I want to just pop this out, guys. This Sunday, actually, it starts Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Our Greek festival at Greek Orthodox Church. I was there helping prep. Even Mariana helped. I will be there again Sunday, cooking my ass off. So if you guys want to come by, say hi, get some food, have some good time, please do. It's going to be a fun occasion. Also, before I forget. Saturday, the day of the year that we all looking forward to. Myself, Paul, and David will be at New York Comic Con. Please, if you're coming, reach out to us. I would love to meet you guys. Maybe grab some food or just hang out, bullshit, take some pictures, do it live, whatever. If you are in Comic-Con, please reach out to me. So the way we're going to close out is Mariana, you go first. Final thoughts. Coach next, and Mr. Bender last.
Well, this is an interesting topic. Sorry I had that leash out of me because that really,
Ayana.
Yeah,
That's
sorry.
Ayana. That's Ayana right there.
The thing is, in order not to get into this mess of not paying support, you have to, think before making that decision. Before, you're not gonna have kids before marriage. Get married, then have kids, and not go through all that mess to begin with. So that's the thing, not to go through that. But other than that, if you brag about, oh, I make that much money, and then there's no point in feel so proud and show your character right from the judge. That makes you, most likely you're gonna end up paying child support. So I mean, this is a good topic, but I would say this is a yes and no depending on the situation from the women's side, and then depending, whatever if the mother lives with if the kids live with the father and he has a low amount of, not making enough money, and she's like the breadwinner, then she has to pay child support. So this is a good topic. So that's what I say.
I mean, it's again, man, interesting topic, unique topic. I think it's something that could be talked about a little bit more, just on how to ensure that the system is working for you. But technically, the system won't work for anybody if both the parents don't work together. I think, just, always thinking about the kid. I think the kid is best benefited when parents work together. And whatever money is paid out, just make sure the kid benefits from it the most. If you're going to spend some on yourself, make sure the kid is a part of that. That's just the way I, see it. Again, man, child support is something that's a great responsibility. I have these conversations with my sons all the time. Don't put yourself in a position where you're going to lose money based off your income. And some states are worse than others. It can be very high. So you have to be careful. Find out what the laws are in your state. Find out what the laws are in your state. And if you do happen to have a child, I say pay for your child early. Get your DNA test. Take yourself. Go to court yourself. Say, hey, I want to have custody of my child. I want my child to be legitimate. And just start from there. And as your child grows older, you can be there and watch him. His first steps, teach him how to swim, teach him how to play football, shoot a jump shot, do all the things that you may have done or did not do. And that goes for the men and the women. It gives women a little bit more self-confidence, a little bit more dignity about themselves. And for young men, again, competence, courage, and confidence. It brings it all out of them, boys. So, yeah, but if you got to pay it. I'd rather pay it in my 20s and 30s than in my 40s, 50s, and 60s. Pay it, get it over with. When your body starts slowing down, most of your money will be coming back to your pocket.
Hey, good show tonight. Certainly, we're trying to make the best of a bad situation. I mean, like I said, when it gets to this point where money is having to be asked for, and you bring in the courts into it, it's never a good situation. Now, I've known couples that have been able to work things out as far as taking care of kids and not going to the courts at all. And obviously, that's always a better situation when you, as the having the maturity as the parents of these children, to work out some terms that are fair and again keeping the government out your business. So I guess I'll always certainly advocate for that. If you can't be together, then again, have the respect, since you guys chose to have these kids, that you would do the best by your kids. And again, you don't need those guys all up in your business like that. But unfortunately, if it does get to this, and absolutely women, certainly if you again, you have the responsibility now the last 50 years, Women have made great strides in careers and professional lives and making money now, and with that comes responsibilities. So yeah, if you are making bread like that, yes, you need to pay for the children that you decided to have. And so I have no issue with that whatsoever. So if you don't like the man that you had children with, again, be very careful who you choose. Don't have kids when you don't want to. And like I said, if I did have a wish, if I could snap my fingers and do something, again, I think an accounting of child support is warranted. So imagine if you had to come up every year, just like I said, I had to do for Social Security for my mother. Every year I had to come up and I had to have receipts. I needed bank records. I needed receipts. And I needed to be ready to I didn't have to turn those receipts in, but I had to be ready in case if I was ever called to task to say, hey, we need to see evidence of these charges that you're reporting. What would then happen then to the whole system, or how women would treat or the spouse? I won't even say women. If you're the guy getting spousal support, what would happen then, even though you may have total disdain for the other parent? The state is going to make sure that you handle your business, else there's going to be some potential criminal charges for the misuse of funds. If for those who can't get along, it's like, if you guys can't work this out on your own, if you're going to go to the courts, then I have no issue with the courts enacting such provisions to keep people accountable and responsible, and not just using out of spite of the other person, using or mismanaging the money that they're being given for the child's benefit. I'm always going to, put the children above everything else. So make sure you spend that money wisely. So again, it's just an idea. Maybe once I get some money, maybe I can give them some Congress people to maybe pick it up and put it on the floor. But yeah, I mean, if you got to do it for your taxes or anything else, why not do it here? I would certainly love to see that. Keep a shoebox with all the receipts that you spent on your children, so that when they look at it every year, they'll be like, "Oh, yep." And then you could tell the other person, "Yep, you're on the hook again for another year," because they were very financially responsible with the money that you gave, which is what was your fear anyway. So they proved it right. So something like that I like to see. But if you can't, then again, just put the kids first. That's all I got.
Thanks everybody for coming up today. This was, like I said, an interesting conversation. So let's go over a quick schedule update. And let's get ahead. Paul, before you log off, stay on for 5 seconds. I gotta go over some of Comic-Con really fast with you. So tomorrow, the guys will be talking about Superman versus Goku, the ultimate crossover clash. Good luck, guys. You're gonna need it. Paul and Coach will be going over paper to paycheck, crafting the perfect resume and cover letter. So that's going to be an interesting conversation. And on Friday, I haven't posted. I will be posting it soon, guys. I apologize. We asked women to value their bodies, but men, do we value ours? That was Sean will be going over. And on Saturday, we will be doing a rerun. And we will have a gray area. I just got to go over the topic with Paul later. Except that, any final word from you guys? Mariana?
No.
Nope. All right. So, like I said, guys, we will be at Comic-Con. We will also be at the Greek Fest, so make sure you check out. So, as always, this was the Spartan HQ Network. I am the Spartan. She's Mariana, the coach, Mr. President. As always, stay fresh, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Salute.